Very good morning to you all. Morning, really. I have to be very well aware that this morning, even though it's daytime, I have to behave like an owl. Because here I have to turn my head right and left. A very large tennis court with Roger Federer and Tan Tik Tok, playing here. So I'm well aware, and some of you are sitting up there, so once in a while, say something, whistle or something, so that I'm aware that you're up there, because the lights are very bright here. So thank you very much, my dear brother Ricky, for having me to share in your Social Concern Sunday. But I'm aware, as perhaps some of you are aware, and Pastor Ricky had mentioned the fact that last night we had a Thanksgiving dinner and celebration, and then we had a time where the Social Concerns Committee, together with all the supporters, members, volunteers from different organizations and groups from different churches, have come together with people who have been part of the social concerns, who have been helped, who have appreciated, and who have come to testify to God's goodness. And what a lovely evening it was, as we saw how lives have been transformed and changed, but also how lives have been influenced and touched through the social concerns of this church. Together, always I want to emphasize, working together with other Christians and other groups and volunteers to make things far better if they had only worked alone. Because after all, Wesley Church is but a church that has been on top of Bukit Petaling. Do you know this is Bukit Petaling you're sitting on? Besides the building? Do you know that? How many of you know this? This is Bukit Petaling. Those who know it usually will be half the age of this church at least, and more. Yeah, I heard that this church is 120 years old almost. Wow. So Bukit Petaling, as the word implies, means that you're on a little mount, not a hill, really, a mount. But of course, once you have the word Bukit, your house price will go up by 20% or something like that. So up here, but we all know that historically, while the community of people have been given the word, but the people that have come to Wesley Methodist Church, most of it, as far as I think I know, has come from all over, both PJ and Kuala Lumpur and the surroundings, and that's why later they spread out to have preaching points and later churches that will cater to people who are further away. But nonetheless, I'm sure many of you have come from different parts of Kuala Lumpur and even Petaling Jaya and other places. It's a place where God has resides, so to speak, a place where we have the church, a place where we worship God, and a place where we do things of God, activities that helps us to bring nearer to God and to understand God better, but also to translate the knowledge about God and the experience of God to relating to one another. But we all well know also the fact that on this mount and just below, like Petaling Street and Sultan Street and the surrounding areas, are areas which over the years have been transformed into places where among the exciting things that are happening, among the economic things that are happening, but also where the poor and needy reside, where the destitutes, the drug addicts, where the homeless and people who have come from foreign lands, and so on and so forth. And the church of Wesley, the Wesley Church here, I know that is because I've been involved with it from the beginning. They have a concern, but perhaps will find it difficult to go down to where they are because they are so different, because God has blessed you all so much and have given much to you all. And so in many sense of the word, we are on top of this mount. We are a little bit different. We have increased in our social, economic, our mental, whatever status. And so sometimes it is hard to go down. It's easier to go out, but hard to go down. And to cut the story short, I'm well made aware that God brought people who were down. In other words, they were the drug addicts, they were the homeless, they were the street people. But to the grace of God, and by them committing crimes, yes, by them getting foul of the law, they ended up in Pudu jail. They ended up, now no more Pudu jail, but those days they had Pudu jail. And then they ended up in Kajang prison and Sungai Buloh prison. and in the government rehab centers, maybe in Dunkirk and other places. And so where they were in there, many Christians go there, and they preach the gospel, they share the word, and many of these people came to Jesus Christ. They were converted, they hold on to a new belief, and their lives were changed. When they came out, they went to further rehabilitation in Christian centers, or they went to certain churches who had members who went into prison, who went into the rehabilitation centers of the government, and there they disciple, and there they fellowship, and there they acted on in the name of Jesus to show love, compassion, and lots of heartaches and tears. But in the midst of that, many of these people changed. And from these groups of people came people that came to know about the needs here in Petaling Street, Sultan Street, whatever. And so together with us in Malaysian Care, who are working with them, and of course we know the Social Concerns Committee of Wesley Methodist Church, and so we begin to coordinate, we begin to network, we begin to say, hey, come, let's do something. But this time is different because the people going to help us are people, if they all usually wear long sleeve, but if they pull up the sleeve, you see, tattoos, there are people who know the people down there because they were from there. They were the ones, hiding in the alleys and back ways, and they're the ones doing the drugs and so on.